I am Toymaker ZW and today we are going to create our favorite haunted teacher, Miss Delight, by printing the exact 3D model from Playtime with our favorite 3D printer, the Frozen Mighty 8K, and we will take things to the next level by giving her real hair. This project actually took a full day to print. That's right, 24 hours, because of how tall it is at 7,000 layers. But the Mighty 8K still managed to print all of her parts out really beautifully, and she can be assembled flawlessly with no issues. Here she is in this mid-walk pose, about to pounce on you when you're not looking at her. There are also tons of animations you could choose from, like her smashing into the servers, kicking open the door, or even her death animation where she literally falls into pieces. But her walking animation has always been the creepiest for me, because you know she's coming for you once you turn your back on her. So now it's the question of which frame in the animation looks best. And this is what I ended up with. Taking a closer look at our prints, and you can tell that there are a lot of details that are present here but missing in the 3D model, because I had to add them in with the displacement maps, and literally every detail will be carved into place. We just had to adjust the intensity, and the nice fabric details, the apple on the apron, and even the pesky white dots on her skirt will be replicated. But the most unexpected part of this project was the torn fabric portion of her entire outfit, because it seems like the modelers merely manipulated the textures and whatever's painted black will vanish in-game, giving you an illusion of damaged clothing. So how do we replicate these torn edges, the ripped open apron, ragged sleeve, and most importantly, exposed skin? Well, turns out we are able to mask the model using the colors of the texture. So I masked them by the color black and extracted them into individual models that I used to subtract from the outfit, which left a really accurate indentation of the torn effect. Then I finalized the damage with some spheres that I painstakingly nudged into the nooks and crannies to finally get this. As for her beautifully mutilated face, we had to mark out her eyeballs to make sure that she's staring right into your soul. Then use her displacement maps again to mark out all the cracks and roughness in her mouth. And of course, we cannot forget the blushes on her cheeks, so she can still look pretty when she smashes you in your head. And since we are going to add real hair to her, we need to mark out her hairline, and I want to give a deeper indentation to push in the hair strands for the parting of her hair. But that's not all, because I am severely doubtful about my hair grooming skills, so I decided to add a little sphere to kind of mark out the shape of her hairstyle, so that hopefully the hair will rest down into the correct shape. I actually also moved her arm a little, because just like Catnap with his arms all distorted, Miss Delight's arm is clipping into her own skirt, so we had to rotate it out. And of course move Barb back into her hands where she belongs, and simply merge them together and print it as one piece, because it's cruel to separate the two bestest of friends, right? I am just thoroughly amazed by how well the printer could print out every single pencil on the weapon. And we have to be really careful when snapping the supports off, because I don't want to accidentally cut off one of the pencils and leave Barb with a bald spot. The rest of the parts are separated and given a key so that we can piece her back together, but before that, we have to cure the prints further in the Mega Cure S to solidify the prints after printing. And now we can do a temporary test fit with some blue tack. Whoa. And she looks great. However, before we can paint her, we gotta fill all these holes up with UV clay. But wait, how can we not do a little sanding to smooth out the prints? This is literally the most taxing manual labor of every project, and it's only possible with the cup of coffee my supporters has gracefully sponsored each month. If you're unable to join us on any of these platforms, feel free to like and comment on this video to help with the algorithm. And now, your weapon is sharpened. Airbrushing is kinda boring because it involves a lot of masking. First, we will deal with all the skin color on the body, limbs, bob, and face, mask off the skin areas, spray some white so that the beige won't affect the subsequent color, which will be yellow for the inner shirt. Then, you guessed it, masking and white primer, then turquoise for the apron, mask off the upper body, and red for the skirt. Unmasking could be nerve-wracking sometimes, because this is when you find out if you actually masked things well or if you messed things up, which happens a lot on this channel. More often than not, I will have to do some touching up. And yep, some blue went onto the yellow shirt, some red color invaded the apron, and we have to round up the edges on the skirt. Hand brushing, on the other hand, can be quite fulfilling, because this is when we add in small details like the apple and its various colors to make things pop. But it could be rather tedious as well, because we have to paint every single white dot on the freaking skirt. Luckily, we have already marked out the individual spots, so there is no need for guesswork here. I'm just going to switch off my brain and follow the dots until everything is filled up. Okay, back to the fun part. It has been ages since I've worked on a human face. Well, this is close enough. Just fill her up with blood all over her face, add some black wash to deepen the details, and add her mascara, I think? Once she's all dirtied up, we can move on to the whites of her eyes, add in all the teeth, then the blacks of her eyes, and we can add the white dot of death. Don't worry, she's harmless without her weapon, so let's finish up Barb. While painting her, I was wondering how much damage can a few pencils do. Then I remembered,
I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil.
Needless to say, I am convinced. We just need to add in all of the different colored pencils, then paint the tip with beige to make it look the part. Lastly, we are going to feed Barb some blood to finish her look. Finally, we can no longer procrastinate and are forced to face our fears. Rooting hair. It has been years since I've glued hair on figurines, and I'm using this lamphor that I bought years ago and the exact same fabric glue that I've used in the past. Simply cut a fingerful, then glue them up starting from the bottom, and after just one layer, the glue ran out. Fortunately, I bought another glue and it actually worked even better. It's less tacky, dries faster, and doesn't really stick onto my thumb like the older one. Now we just need to slowly work our way up towards the hair parting that we marked out earlier. And I must say, the hairpiece really helped to keep the hair in shape. The last step to hair rooting will be to add strands of hair into the indentation on both sides, and now she looks like a model.
L'Oreal Paris, you're worth it.
But this wasn't the scary part for me, because it is the grooming that I have absolutely no confidence in. I dyed her hair later to make it more yellowish, trim off some of the excess, and now we have to deal with the curves. Gluing on a metal wire and rolling it up didn't work, so I decided to do things in small sections, which is a little bit more manageable. And once it is in position, I simply glued the curves on and hoped for the best. And I think they look okay-ish. I did the same for the other side, and yeah, this is the best I can do. We are moving on. Glue her legs, glue her arm, and her best friend, give her a ribbon, and we can start destroying our hard work with some black paint, because she's a dirty girl. And finally, we can add some gloss to her face, and we are done. Miss Delight from Poppy Playtime, glued on real hair to make her more realistic. I think I gave her too much hair cause it looks really thick, but it's fine because this shape is pretty nice. The weathering really makes her look like part of a horror universe, especially her bloody best friend, and the mid-walk pose feels perfect, like she's gonna pounce on you if you get too close. I don't know which is scarier, Freddy or Miss Delight. Go take a look at Freddy's video if you haven't, otherwise both of them will find you in your sleep.